All right, so we get asked the question a lot. How much money do I need to retire? Now, the answer will certainly be different for each situation. At Jazz, we specialize in the actual management of your investments so you can get to your investing goals. So while we can get you to your goals, first we need to understand them. So that brings us back to our question. How much money do you need to retire? To answer this, we're going to talk about something called the Safe Withdrawal Rate. Basically, this is the rate that you can spend your money without ever running out. Now, so to figure this out, we're going to use the idea of multiplying your yearly expenses by 25. To give you a simple example, let's say you plan on spending $40,000 a year when you retire. Well, then you'll need to have $1 million invested to not run out of money. Now, let's go back to that for a second. I said that the safe withdrawal rate was the rate you could spend your money without ever running out. How can that be? I mean, surely there has to be some limit to how long you can withdraw your money and still have some left over, right? Well, actually, there's a study that explains this. Now, sometimes it's referred to as the 4% rule, but if you like this and you want to do some more research, you might look up the Trinity Study. The Trinity Study went back to 1926 and it looked at how much money you'd need to retire for every year since 1926. Now, the study was based on an even 50-50 split between investing in stocks and bonds. And what the study found was that withdrawing 4% of your money would be fine for 25 years, 100% of the time. If you did it for 30 years, you'd still have money left over 96% of the time. In this case, it was only a problem if you retired in a very tough year for the market and you never made any money after retirement, things like pensions or Social Security. Only in that case did the 4% rule not work out. Now, I don't want to mislead you here. The 4% rule isn't technically bulletproof, but at Jazz, we quantify every decision we make for our clients. Those odds are pretty good. Also, remember that most people continue to make some kind of money from different sources even after they retire. We have hobbies and fun things we do that generate a little income. Now, if you still want more comfort that you won't outlive your money, maybe you'll come up with your own rule, like the 3% rule. What if you only withdrew 3% of your investments per year? Then you'd really be in good shape. All right, so let's go back to the 4% rule for just a second. Now, this is going to satisfy all those people that are just like me that always ask, why? Why is that? All right, so the 4% rule, this study, it refers to the 4% number as the safe number. Why isn't it 6% or 12%? How'd they come up with 4%? So the study finds that if you reinvest your dividends, your investments historically grow at an average of 7% a year, right? At that same time, the average inflation rate is about 3%, just a little bit over. So you're making 7% on average, inflation takes away about 3%, and this leaves you with 4%. That means your net income will increase by 4% each year. If you spend that 4% without going over, you'll end the year with the same amount that you started with. That's assuming history continues. Well, since 1900, the average return to invest in the market, including reinvesting your dividends, has been 7%. As for inflation, the average yearly inflation rate has always been just over 3%. So even though we've been through the Great Depression, a bunch of wars, and most recently what they called the Great Recession, the average return rate has still been 7%. And the average inflation rate has been just over 3%, 3.22 to be exact. Now, this means that investing for the long run is truly your best and most consistent opportunity. Now, this doesn't mean that things can't change. Of course, investing can be risky, but that's why you call a guy. We make sure you're prepared for something like that. All right, so the lesson here is to get started early. You're investing for the long run. Open that IRA, open the Roth IRA. We can help you make the best choice. Make this be the year that you contribute a little more towards your goals, because trust me, the time goes by quick. And we want to make sure that as that time is going by quickly, you have what you need to get you to your goals.